Yo, what is happening, you Rizless Rowlets? Today we are talking Festival Lead and the big new upgrade from Pitch Black, the Gladion's final battle. And it is a huge upgrade to the deck. This is the best Festival Lead has ever been, I think, as a competitive deck in a metagame. But before I jump down and I break it all down, just want to remind y'all that if you'll ever want to easily import any of the deck lists that I post here on the YouTube channel, head over to the site, head over to the website, AzulGG. I've got a deck list tab up there where all the deck lists are compiled. So if you're not in the Discord, checking out the deck list in the Discord, and you just want to find the deck list, AzulGG, deck list tab at the top. All the deck lists that I play with here on the YouTube channel make their way over onto the website, where you can quickly and easily import them into TCG Live. And while you're over there, of course, go ahead and check out the merch as well. So Gladion's final battle, for anyone who is unaware, says if this is the only card, you can only play this if it's the last card in your hand. And then during your turn, attacks used by your Pokemon that don't have a rule box do 80 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. That is a lot more damage to do, especially when you're attacking with a Dipplin or a Seaking that says when we have Festival Grounds in play, we can attack twice. So that's 160 more damage added to the base damage of these attacks. The 60 damage from the Rapid Draw, the 80 damage from the Do the Wave. Now, in the gameplay I'm going to show y'all here, I don't actually have the Seaking or the Goldeen in the deck. I've added it later on after. I'm actually not 100% convinced on the Seaking. The Goldeen has felt pretty good so far, but once again, I'm actually not sure about the Goldeen either. Let's take a look at the rest of the list here. First, though, 4/4 Thwackey. I've got a 4/3 Dipplin lineup. We do have the Seaking in here. I am playing currently the one Find a Friend Applin. For a colorless energy, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And I'm not sold on this one yet, to be honest. I've used it a couple times. It's okay. The idea is, of course, turn one, Buddy Poffin or Pokepad. You need an Applin. You get this Applin. You have an energy and an air balloon. You retreat into it. You find a friend, and you kind of extend your turn by, like, you know, +1 thing you did, right? Otherwise, we're just kind of passing. We don't really have any good turn 1 attackers. Unless our opponent, like, opens Badoo, we could try and KO with a Tumbling attack or the Slight Intrusion. Now, there is some counter synergy there with the list as well. Like, obviously, that's a good option to have, but the reason we don't want to play 4 Dragon Applin and always have Find a Friend access, or have it more often, is because we play Bug Catching Set, which looks at the top 7 cards of our deck, and then we can reveal a combination of any 2 of Grass Pokemon and Grass Energy. The Dragon Applin, of course, is Dragon type, not Grass type, so Bug Catching Set wouldn't be able to find this card. So that's the reason it's like, I don't want to commit too much to Find a Friend, but I like the idea of it. Unsold on it overall. I could see going to a higher count, even if it feels that good. And of course, the more we play, the more often we can Find a Friend turn 1. But we don't even play that many energy to begin with, so finding an energy on the first turn of the game going second, as well as getting a Dragon Applin into the active, just doesn't happen very often. So that's why I've kind of opted for the 1 so far right now. 3 Dipplin. I'm down to the 3 Dipplin in this current build because I do have the Goldeen and the Seaking. I think if I cut the Seaking, end up cutting the Seaking, I would cut it for the 4th Dipplin, of course. And we do have a 1/1 Seaking in here. Goldeen is nice for a couple reasons. One, it kind of fills the bench with a Festival Lead Pokemon to give us access to Thwackey's Boom Boom Groove. For anyone who's unaware, the Boom Boom Groove of Thwackey can only be activated to search our deck for any 1 card if we have a Pokemon in the active with Festival Lead. Goldeen's a basic, Dipplin is an evolution. It's a little bit harder to get to the Festival Lead ability on the Dipplin than it is to get to the Festival Lead ability on the Goldeen. So that's where some of the value of Goldeen comes up. And it mostly actually comes up sometimes in the early game, but I feel like most of the time I found it comes up in the mid-late game when we can't quite get all of our Applins into Dipplins, but we could Buddy Poffin for a Goldeen and put that on our bench. And then if our active Dipplin gets KO'd and our hand gets disrupted, specifically most of the time, we'd be having to hope to draw into a Dipplin to evolve one of our Applins into to gain access to Boom Boom Groove. The Goldeen makes that constant access to the Boom Boom Groove a little bit smoother in the mid-late game. So that's why Goldeen is like kind of best. Seaking is okay. I think I've attacked with it once since I've added it to the deck, and I haven't played as much with the Seaking as without the Seaking, of course. There's a couple things about Seaking that are cool. One of the problems with Seaking specifically is it always needs a Brave Bangle to actually hit the big numbers. So it only does 60 damage, and if you combo that with Gladion, you're looking at 280 damage. With Brave Bangle, though, you KO Dragapult, but you don't even KO like a Kangaskhan without the Brave Bangle. Like, you come up so short on the damage with Rapid Draw. Same thing with like KO and a Zoroark. You need, oh no, Gladion is enough to KO. That's a 280 number. That's the one Pokemon we KO that's like, okay, we actually get there with just Gladion plus Brave Bangle. That's something like, or without Brave Bangle, is Gladion plus Seaking KOs like a Zoroark. But Dipplin KOs Zoroark anyway, so is it really that big of a deal to have a Seaking? So most often, Seaking is just a worse attacker. And that's why I feel like I never attack with it, because we almost need to attack with Dipplin instead. And another thing with having gold, like if we need to use Gladion to begin with to like set up and play the game, it often ends up with an air balloon on it, because we don't want to be attacking with Sea King, we want to be attacking with Diplin, but we might need Gladion to kind of get access to Boom Boom Groove to pull together to play for the turn. But if we want to attack with the Diplin while the Gladian's in the active, we have to air balloon the Gladion, so then we can end up with energy on the Diplin to actually do the wave. Yeah, so as the game progresses, we can't even use Sea King for big numbers because it most of the time needs a Brave Bangle, and then it has an air balloon on it, and then it doesn't become an option. We have to like default to Diplin anyways. And it's not like we lose the game because of that. It's just like, okay, that's fine. That's how it plays out. Just another reason that we like rarely attack with the Sea King. Also, Brave Bangle knockouts in general in the current metagame, like Gladion covers such a wide scenario of situations where we don't need a tool and a supporter. Like previously, you would need Brave Bangle and Kieran, or Brave Bangle and Black Belt to actually take big KOs on these Pokemon, but now you just need Gladion's Final Battle. And it's pretty easy to set up between 2 Ultra Ball and the Secret Box. It might seem like a lot, but it really isn't. Once you play some games with the deck, you realize how easy it is to make Gladion your last card in your hand. Play it, and then even at that point, sometimes you have extra Boom Boom Grooves to work with. You don't have to have a 0-card hand when you attack. You just need a 1-card hand of just Gladion to be able to play the card. But if you can get to a 0-card hand before you even use Boom Boom Groove, you can play Gladion, go to a 0-card hand, and then use Boom Boom Groove 2 or 3 times, depending on how many Thwack you have in play, load up your hand with cards again, and then attack. You don't even have to play those cards as well. You can just save them in your hand for the next turn. You can stockpile up for future situations. So, yeah, you realize how powerful this card is. And the biggest deal, or the biggest reason this is such a huge buff, K-Way and Dragapults themselves wasn't that big of a deal for Festival League, to be honest. Bangle plus Kieran or Bangle plus Black Belt was reasonable enough. It is a little bit easier now that we have Gladion to do it more consistently, especially when one of their main win conditions is to disrupt our hand with Unfair Stamp or Special Red Card. That makes it sometimes easier to get to a Gladion play, and they almost like help us out more so than anything with those options. But even a bigger deal than that is Festival League was already like favored into most one prize matchups. Now they're basically all auto wins. Like we auto win Alakazam, we auto win Honchkrow. The mirror match is interesting. Sea King is a really big deal in the mirror, I will say that. Although, do I really want to tech for mirror when the main op in the field is Dragapult? Probably not. I'm not going to worry about the mirror match. I'm going to let my Festival Lead brothers do the best they can without having to force them to have to worry about the mirror match. But yeah, now we just destroy all the one prize matchups. Depending on how the hide and sneak decks tech for us, we also beat them as well, but that's a little bit closer. They can include the Flutter Mane and Air Balloon and stuff like that. That is one of the main reasons we play the Tool Scrapper. The Tool Scrapper is in here for handheld fans in Alakazam, Flutter Mane plus Air Balloon combo in hide and sneak decks or other decks that are just playing that. And then also good against Hero's Cape, because sometimes stuff with Hero's Cape is a little bit too big for us to KO. I'm not 100% sold on the Tool Scrapper in the current metagame, to be honest. There's not that high of a count of tools that we don't like to see. It feels like there's maybe just enough to warrant including it, but I'm definitely not like, you need the Tool Scrapper in the metagame right now. I'm like, it seems good. I'm not sure it's good enough though. 1-1 Rapska, of course, in here to protect us from Dragapult. Dragapult Dusknoir is pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. Dragapult Dusknoir is really, really hard to beat. We could maybe find room for Psyduck. The problem is, even if you include Psyduck, our bench becomes so convoluted, and setting up all of those Pokemon under item lock in the early game sometimes just becomes too difficult to even try and pull off. So I don't even know if including Psyduck in the deck would be worth it. I don't even know how much of a win rate increase we get against Dragapult Dusknoir to warrant a Psyduck inclusion. But up against Crushing Hammer Dragapult or Dragapult Blaziken, the Rapska is a huge deal and gives us a pretty solid chance against both of those builds of the deck. I think we're still unfavored against Dragapult as a whole. Every single build we're unfavored. Really unfavored against Pultnor. If we play the Psyduck, we have a little bit better of a chance. But against the other builds of Dragapult, it's okay. We have an okay time. We're definitely unfavored, but it doesn't feel that bad. We still play the Shaman in here because although Rapska protects our bench from effects of attacks and damage from attacks, sometimes damage from attacks comes in a little bit faster than we're able to set up the Rapska. Unlike the Dragapult matchup, where they usually have to evolve from Dreepy to Dracloak to Dragapult, if you go up against a deck like Slowking or a Slot Box with the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, they can be Torrential Pumping or using Kyurem's attack through Slowking on turn 2 going first. And that's really scary, and that's why we still play the Shaman in this deck, because it's really easy for us to get overrun by decks like that if we don't have turn 1 potentially bench protection from something like the Shaman. So that's why we still play Shaman alongside the Rapska. For the support account, 4 Lily, 2 Boss, 2 Gladion, 1 Kieran. This feels like perfect. I don't think we need any more. A 3rd Boss wouldn't be bad because it does open up different win condition lines, but I think 2 is enough. And there's other cards I'd want before I'd include more Boss's orders. 4 Buddy Buddy Puffin, 4 Pokepad, 3 Bug Catching Set, 2 Ultra Ball for the Pokemon Search cards. I know a lot of people play 3 Thwacky, but the more I play against the Dragapult matchup, getting Thwackey online is just so important. Getting our evolutions in general, from the Thwackey to the Diplin, or getting Goldeen in the active and then finding the Thwackey is super important. And Dragapult makes up so much of the metagame. We should be focusing a lot on the Dragapult matchup. So that's why I really like the 4th Thwackey. We increased our odds of just raw drawing into it, which is going to be one of the main ways you find it because of the itchy pollen from the Badoo. And we want bug catching set to hit them as well. So yeah, that's why I like the 4th Thwackey. I don't think I would cut a Thwackey when I'm about to talk here about other cards I'd want to try and include in the deck, but it would maybe be a consideration. For the recovery, or for the Pokemon Search, 4 Buddy Puffin, 4 Pokebad, 3 Bug Catching Set, 2 Ultra Ball, like I said. 1 Sacred Dash, 1 Night Stretcher. This feels like the minimum we can play. I wouldn't hate adding a second Night Stretcher because our energy sometimes becomes a little bit iffy, but usually that happens more to me misplaying than actually running out of energy. That does happen sometimes. So second Night Stretcher wouldn't be terrible, but at least 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Sacred Dash feels comfortable. And Lana's Aid is a card that has been played in the past. It's just become a lot worse because of the Gladion's Final Battle. We want to be able to recover cards aggressively while using Gladion's Final Battle, but more so if we want to use Gladion's Final Battle in like the early mid game and we just have Lana's Aid in our hand, it just gets discarded and we don't get to get value out of it. But we can always play Sacred Ash for like a Diplin line at the very least, and then use Gladion's Final Battle, take our big knockout, and we'll have enough Pokemon to be able to win the game still. So I don't think I play Lana's Aid in the deck anymore, just because of how much more aggressive we want to be through the Gladion's Final Battle. And there is just kind of limited turns in games where we can sometimes utilize it. We want to make sure we can utilize it on those turns aggressively, because otherwise situations can come up where our opponent like benches a Pokemon that has too much HP for us to actually KO when we want to take a big back-to-back one prize knockout. Secret Box, of course, A-Spec of choice in here. It's super important to be able to pull off the Gladion's Final Battle combo. I wouldn't consider any other A-Spec in the deck, to be honest, currently. Tool Scrapper, like I mentioned, a little bit up in the air, but I like it overall. 3 Air Balloon, no switch. This has felt great. Getting Air Balloons down on our Thwackeys aggressively to take away win conditions from our opponent of like Disrupt Hand plus Boss a Thwackey. Or even being able to set up board states where we have like double Thwackey Rabskull, all with Air Balloons, and the rest of the board is just Diplins and Seaking or Goldeen, making it impossible for Dragapult to board lock us is really, really good. Triple Air Balloon allowing us to do that is great, but more so than that, I would say constantly having access to 2 Air Balloon to put on our Thwackeys is a really, really big deal. So I like the triple Air Balloon. I think if Retreat Lock became more of a problem or more popular, I would consider adding a switch or a second Kieran. Probably go the switch route because I don't think we really need any more damage modification through an extra Kieran. But Retreat Lock currently, it is pretty popular, but none of the decks can really abuse it in a way where we care, basically. Most of the time up against Retreat Lock decks, they can Retreat Lock us, but they don't actually get to gain an advantage from it. So we can just sit there and let them KO the active Pokemon through Retreat Lock, and then we start attacking again, and we're still winning the game. So 1 mobility card through the Kieran feels like more than enough currently. But like I said, Retreat Lock becomes more of a problem, or other decks pick it up in a way that becomes more problematic. Put a switch over an Air Balloon. Finally, 2 Brave Bangle. Brave Bangle actually feels really weak since adding the Gladion's Final Battle to the deck. I rarely find myself using Brave Bangle to take KOs. 1 feels really good. You want to be able to like Boss KO Pheasantipity off the bench. Brave Bangle on Seaking up against Blaziken specifically, which has been the most popular way people are playing Dragapult, does allow us to Boss KO Blaziken off the bench with the Stadium in play, of course, but I rarely, if ever, found myself using Bangle in most matchups, and almost never 2 of them. So this feels like the flex spot here, which is a little weird to say because if we're playing Seaking, most of Seaking's big KO potential comes through the Brave Bangle, but it rarely comes up in a way where I just feel like we probably could cut down to 1 Brave Bangle. I don't know what I'd add specifically. Currently, the front runner for like my 61st card is second Relor, because I think we beat most other things that aren't Dragapult so easily. If we can find space in the deck to include more tech cards, it just needs to go to the Dragapult matchup. And I think second Relor would be the #1 card for me to add to increase my win rate against Dragapult to begin with. Not because we want to bench double Relor against Dragapult, but because we're getting item locked from Badoo. Increasing our odds of finding the Relor faster is a big deal. And then also mitigates our prizing of a Rabska piece. If we play Rabska and Relor and just those 2, if we prize either piece, we can't set up Rabska. But then if we play 2 Relor, even if we prize one of the Relors, we can still set up the Rabska through the second Relor. Obviously, that doesn't help us if we prize the Rabska itself, but, you know, it helps a certain percentage. We could go to a 2-2 Rabska, even though I could see that being reasonable, because once again, it's not about setting up 2 Rabska. It's about constantly having access to the Rabska that is the big deal. But we could definitely play out board states where we actually set up 2 Rabska. So our board state is like double Thwacky, double Rabska, and then ideally double Diplin. And then once the first Diplin gets KO'd, we bench a Goldeen, and then we go from Diplin into Sea King into bench Applin, and then hope after the Sea King gets KO'd, we've either won the game with the Sea King, or that we can find a Diplin for our next Applin to regain access to the Boom Boom Groove. So there could be something there where board states could be set up around that. It is a little risky against Risky Ruins specifically, because if they have access, if they play Risky Ruins and gain access to it, what they can do is they can actually Jet Headbutt a Diplin for 70. If our board is like double Thwacky, double Rabska, double Diplin, they can Jet Headbutt a Diplin for 70. And then next turn, KO the full HP Diplin on our bench, plus Monkey Dory KO the damaged Diplin. So a lot of that comes down to like whether or not a double Rabska board state is viable. A lot of the time comes down to what Dragon Ball players are playing. If a lot of them are playing Risky Ruins, you almost never can go that route unless you want to include like a Super Potion in the deck, but that gets a little weird. But that could be an inclusion. Super Potion could work. Also, the Growing Grass energy can play around that combo as well, which is like the last card to talk about here. We play 4 Festival Grounds. We play 4 basic energy. I would never play any more energy. I think I would always add a Night Stretcher for the flexibility of it potentially being an energy or potentially being a Pokemon. I know 5 might seem like a little. Then the Growing Grass energy, I'm not 100% sold on this card, but situations do keep coming up where it like makes a difference. Like if we get Relor or turn slow, we can put a Growing Grass energy on the Relor, and then the Phantom Dive of Dragapult can't KO the Relor. Or if we go up against a Zoroark deck, one of the plays they like to do is trap our Shaman with Clutch from Yveltal, and then build up to enough damage in play. It can be hard for them to build up in damage in play because Festival Grounds removes special conditions from Pokemon. So they try and Petchy X their Yveltal, build up damage, and then KO the Shaman with Monkey Dory, and then look for a Darmanitan play to KO double Diplin. But if there's a Growing Grass energy on a Diplin, they actually can't KO that Diplin unless they have more Monkey Dory damage to work with, which can make things interesting. So like the Growing Grass energy, there's like a lot of little situations where it can come up. So I'm currently keeping it in the deck. Obviously, like the Dragon Applin, it has anti-synergy with Bug Catching set, but I think it's still worth the inclusion as of right now. Okay, that's it. That's my breakdown of Festival Lead. Let's jump into some action. I'll have a ton more. I played so much with this deck. Ton more gameplay up on the secondary YouTube channel. Check that out, AzulGG2. Link will be in the description. Like I said, Bangle, Tool Scrapper. Yeah, Bangle and Tool Scrapper feel like the weakest 2 cards in the list currently. The next card I want to add is second Relor and go from there. Oh, and Sea King. Sea King, Bangle, Tool Scrapper. I think if I cut the Sea King, I definitely cut the Bangle. If I keep the Sea King, I might keep the Bangle. That's kind of where I'm currently at. So if I just feel like Sea King is definitely not worth it, then I don't think 2 Bangle are worth it. Tool Scrapper, like I said, a little bit up in the air. A little bit metagame situational for sure. But yeah, Sea King, Scrapper, Bangle, most iffy cards. The next card I want is just second Relor. Just more cards for the Dragapult matchup. Doesn't feel bad. Let's jump into some action. Check out the secondary YouTube channel for more action. I'll show y'all how it runs. I could get turn 1 attacked. That'd be sad. Please don't do that to me. Could attach here, but then if it died, that'd be pretty bad. So I think I just pass. If you really understood the card, then why isn't it in the list? Checkmate liberal. Yo, appreciate the 35 months there, Charles. Want to win games to get to Arceus? Why are you not playing Fish? True. There's the Delmice. It's pretty unlikely they turn 1 attack because 1, they would need 4 in the discard pile, but 2, moving the active is... I guess they could be playing a Latias build. They could be playing a Latias build, I guess. Flutter Mane, huh? Cool. Cool. Yeah. Very sick, very sick. It is, like, technically still beatable, but it's pretty tough. Technically winnable. Gonna be tough. Why'd they Ultra Ball ahead of time? Did they forget maybe they just didn't realize they couldn't evolve. Overthought it. Top deck. A little late, but we'll make it work. If I don't put the Festival Grounds in play, they don't push the Fluttermane. I want them to push the Fluttermane, so I kind of have to put the Festival Grounds down. Then it makes it a little awkward for them, right? Of pushing. Oh no, they could push a Delmise here. They could push Delmise actually. All right, maybe I shouldn't have it. Maybe I shouldn't have put the Stadium in play then actually. Well, I guess this means I don't have to. No, it's still better though, right? Because now I don't have to Gladion this turn, right? Because now I go knockout. Then they have to push the Fluttermane. Okay, that works. You can still get 2 if you boss the Fluttermane, right? I can, yes. It really depends on what their bench looks like, on whether or not I would want to boss the Fluttermane though. Like currently, I don't think I'd want to boss Fluttermane. If I go boss Fluttermane, they go push this Delmise. But then at that point, they would have to have another. I guess bossing Fluttermane on this next turn wouldn't be terrible. Yeah, bossing Fluttermane on this next turn wouldn't be terrible. But see, then if they have like another Delmise, yeah. Then I go boss Fluttermane, punch this one, and then they're gonna rebench Fluttermane with Night Stretcher. Then I go boss Fluttermane, punch this one. But eventually they could just leave it to Dunsparce in play to tank a hit. I just need to attack through the active. It's interesting though. Oh, it is interesting. I think I'm just gonna KO the active here though. Yeah, because I want to keep their energy out of play so they can't go attack. I don't want to I want to force them to find their air balloon, right? Because I don't want them to be able to go attach or treat the Fluttermane. That's kind of silly to like give them that out. But like this turn, do I theoretically need to commit to a Gladion play or like? Wait, let me try and get a Diplin first. Nope, that's not good, folks. This match is hard without Ash. Yeah, I could see that. To keep up with this one prize trading, needing more recovery might be necessary. Definitely get that vibe. I mean, let's hope for a Diplin. Oh, we dipping. I didn't properly check my resources. I like possibly want to use Gladion next turn. You could have KO'd with Ravska. Oh, true, I could have. That might have been the better play. No, but then they don't have to push Fluttermane, right? I want to force the Fluttermane push. I have to force the Fluttermane push. I have to force the Fluttermane push. I have to force it. I don't have a choice. The option is open later. No, I like now, like right now, before they find the air balloon to get a value out of that. Or I don't want them to build. Yeah, no. We have to, like, I want to force the Fluttermane push. Speaking of Rapska, though, I guess I could just develop Rapska this turn. Right here. Right now. I have an Applin in the deck. I could get a Diplin off the prize cards. I just want to preemptively commit this Night Stretcher to an Applin. I could top deck Applin, but they're going to KO something, so then I have adventures for that Applin. The option of KOing Ravska will come up. Oh, KOing with Ravska will come up. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Very good, very good, very good. I think I'm honestly just looking for other cards to put in play to like just keep my board state safe, because I just want the option of being able to use Gladion. I just want to keep my hand low and void of good cards, basically. Well, I don't really want to lose my Tool Scrapper because I can get rid of the air balloon. But there's the Gladion. See, now they have to make the choice. Yeah, if we KO, I can Gladion next. Well, I don't want to Gladion into this though. Well, I could Gladion to force the Fluttermane into the active, I guess. The main reason to play Goldeen in a Festival Lead deck isn't because of its attacks, it's because it's a basic Pokemon with the Festival Lead ability. Yeah, I know. I fully understand the value of playing a Sea King line or the Goldeen itself into the deck. I'm aware. I'm aware. Fully aware. Know how the card works. Know how the card interacts in the deck. Know what the card's trying to achieve. The card's even better now because you can use Gladion plus Brave Bangle to get more value out of your Goldeen that can become a Sea King, and now it can 1 KO Dragapult. The value of the card is increased from last format to this format. It's got a buff. That personally has never been a reason that I've ever wanted to include the Sea King. Oh, but you can buddy pop him for Goldeen to get access to your Thwackies. In all my time playing Festival Lead, that's like rarely ever been a thing that like has made a difference for winning games for me. So I am not a huge fan of the card. So I think the card's mid. Okay, do I just have to play the... I don't want to lose my Tool Scrapper, but I also just want to force them to do something.
I mean...
There's got to be a Gladion moment for sure. I mean, I could Rapska Punch. Maybe it is the Rapska Punch turn. Okay, maybe it is the Rapska Punch turn, actually. I take it back. Get value out of the Rapska while I can. I'm currently ahead in the prize exchange, so... And why wasn't it the Rapska Punch turn last turn? I don't know why. 40. Run it up. Wait, could we ever actually play... Actually, do we need the speed of Tool Scrapper to deal with handheld fans? I was going to say, could we play Ruffian to deal with Legacy Energy? But I don't know if that would be good enough. Wait, why'd they push Fluttermane? I'm actually confused. Oh, because they have the voice. Well, no, because I need to be able to go Tool Scrapper plus Gladion in this matchup as well. Like right now, I'm going to go Tool Scrapper Gladion them. Why not target Fluttermane with Boss? Then there's literally Night Stretcher back into play. There's literally no reason to boss the Fluttermane. And then it allows them to harder treat Fluttermane. Because then they could attach to Delmise for turn, attack with the damage Delmise, and then I KO the damage Delmise, and then they push Fluttermane, and then they go attach or treat the Fluttermane, and they don't even need to find their air balloon to activate the Fluttermane for a turn. Gives them a free Fluttermane turn. And boss Fluttermanes, well, they are down 1 Night Stretcher, but they play 2 to 3, so... I really don't want to give them the out of just Night Stretchering the Fluttermane back. Well, they push a Delmise, let it take 100. They'd attach to it for turn, but they have the other one on the bench with the energy. They Night Stretcher it. Eh, it wouldn't happen that bad. But this is a perfect... Like, this is a great turn coming up. Spectacular turn about to happen. Beautiful turn. We actually might need a heavier recovery card, though, to be honest. Just like the Sacred Asher. I guess Lana's Aid is kind of awkward now because, like, you want to find turns to Gladion. Also, if you have to clear out your hand, you can play the Sacred Ash, but you can't play Lana's Aid before you Gladion them, which is worse. If we KO Fluttermane, we do get to attack twice, yeah. But they would just push up a Delmise that has full HP, and then they would attach to that one attack. I should back the Fluttermane. Then I have to go Gladion knockout. No, then I go knockout that one. Then they push Fluttermane, but then they have another Delmise on the bench with an energy because I bossed the Fluttermane the turn previously and didn't KO the one that had the energy. Then they would attack with that one after they hard retreated. So now I go Scrapper Gladion.
Yes.
Maybe Lana's bait now. Gotta play Maxrod. True. Maxrod's the solution. Yes, 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 yes. But of course. Oh, dude, I'm just out of apples. I also need to pull an apple off my prize cards. Wait, did I prize 2 apples? Oh, I have to Night Stretcher for 1 apple. Okay. And then I need the last apple off my prize card. Okay. I have 2 turns to find that apple. Okay. Go. I'm gonna grab this. Play this. Grab this. Play this. Fail this. Play this. Scrapper that. Still a very close game. Play Gladion. Treat to Diplin. Boom Boom Groove. Grab a Night Stretcher. Play a Night Stretcher. Grab a
Diplin.
Play a Diplin. Boom Boom Groove. grab a energy. They could be playing the Ruffian. They are playing the Ruffian. I always grab this one because bug catching, so I could find the other one later, right? But is this like... Does extra HP ever matters? What I'm wondering. I don't think so. Then we do the wave. We do 180. Now, if they push Fluttermane... I got rid of their air balloon, so now it's just weird for them, right? It's just, if they push Fluttermane, they whiff an attack for a turn. If they don't push Fluttermane, I get to KO whatever they send out. I just win, right? I won prize card. We've done it! That's a dub! Now, if the Rabska play didn't work, though, if my opponent bossed around my Rabska there, well, I got the other Diplo off the prize cards. I don't know, maybe 2 9 Stretcher was enough there. Like, for the recovery. They did preemptively put the... So I need to use Gladion as soon as possible to force the air balloon in play. And then after I force the air balloon in play, I tool scrapper it, and then second Gladion, and then that's where they get fucked. But my opponent preemptively attached the air balloon, which gave me the freedom of not having to double Gladion. But normally, they should double Gladion. Interesting. Such a shame Super Auto rotated. He's kind of unlucky, yeah. Never lucky. Appreciate 30 months there, JD. Appreciate the 21 months there, Sims. Yeah, like if they just drew the first prize card with a Delmise, then double Night Stretcher just wouldn't have been enough. So maybe we have to go with one Sacred Ash, one Night Stretcher. Just be like, just almost like based on if my opponent just attacks first, we're kind of in trouble. Yeah, and Lana Zeta is like way more awkward now because of Gladion. We were able to defeat them. And I think we do need the speed of Tool Scrapper as well, right? That's like another thing. We kind of need the speed of the Tool Scrapper. Ruffian is probably too slow. Even though Ruffian could also deal with the Legacy energy. One of the worst possible matchups to open the card, too. Well. It is nice to have it in play, I guess. We are going to want it set up. I don't want to get turn 1 clutched, though, but I could hard retreat, right, into Applin. They could kill my Applin off the rib, so I think it's gotta be like this, this.
S.
It probably is Darmanitan plus Tomes, obviously. Oh, fuck. Forgot about Boo. I should have played this for a Diplin. Oops, my bad. Yeah, definitely should have just like played that for a Diplin. I forgot about the potential of the Dooski. Push the primes up there. Erathki? I'm not sure I got that right. Push the primes up. Welcome to the Rat Pack, though. Have you used that new supporter in this list at all yet? Yeah. I've already gotten value out of Gladion. Very good card in the deck for sure. Already put it to work. Put to use. Cat. Imagine if I had just played better and played the freaking Pokepad.
Be cooking.
We would be cooking right now.
Mm.
I think I can get another Grookey here because the only thing I'd be like, what am I afraid of them going Boss K with Wacky? I think I can get another Grookey here. I actually don't know. Either wave seems fun. I don't know. I guess I could not, but. I just can't give them.
That's gone.
Growing energy gives plus 20 HP to the grass Pokemon it's attached to. I mean, they're setting up for the line, but they're missing a way to generate damage. I don't know. I'm kind of chilling. What does it do for the list? I don't know. I just see how the people playing it. I put it in. That's kind of it.
Oh.
Maybe they did it.
Oh.
They don't have the stadium though, do they? No, they don't have the stadium. We're fine. That's what I maybe should have gotten. Actually, was a well, I don't know. It's hard to say what was the correct thing to grab there. If I don't draw into another stadium anytime soon, like my opponent can find their stadium, then things will get weird, or could get weird, might get weird. They need to find their second stadium. If I have a stadium to counter their second stadium, then I basically just win, but I don't. So. For all this to happen as well, they have to not prize their Petch, their Yveltal, one of their two stadiums, Darumaka or Darmanitan, or Monkey Dory. Some of these things they could have doubles of, I guess, but. Well. I could also top deck Kieran at some point in this. Yeah, maybe we should have played around the Yveltal play happening. Something? That is something. Let me get a stadium. Let me get a Kieran. Let me get a Bangle. Let me get a other Diplin. Let me get a GG. Let me get a, I don't even know what I need from here. Let me get a, let me get a Lily. Why is Kieran suddenly in several meta decks? Or is it? I don't know if that's true. I mean, it's a good card in those decks for what the card does. But, I mean, it's in Festival Lead. If Festival Lead's a meta deck, I wouldn't be confident calling it a meta deck quite yet, but. Besides that, I don't know what else it's in. Oh, true. Extra Drill is playing it. Should run back the clutch play. I mean, the clutch play doesn't work anymore. They're out of stadiums. So they can't generate damage to ever KO the Shaman during their turn. The Shaman will always die going into my turn, and then I'll just recover the Shaman. I mean, 2 cannon is definitely not a meta deck. So, yeah, the Drill is playing it. I mean, mobility is nice, but for extra Drills to be able to KO other Megas, like other Drills or Lucarios.
Yeah. I don't mind.
It's annoying, but like we still just win. Oh, they didn't kill it. Was that on purpose? I'm a little confused. I don't like know what the point of that play was. I'm not gonna lie. If they had damage and played it like Monkey Dory KO on the next turn, that would have made more sense. But they don't have that, so yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Not sure. But man, having this third air balloon, man, huh? Having this third air balloon, sure, that sure is nice there. That sure is pretty good. You know, now this wacky, you know, because I had to discard that one air balloon previously earlier in the game for the secret box, right? Because I want to preserve my Night Treasure in case I need energy. And then the flexibility of now having this third air balloon to attach to this Grookey here and it not being a switch, I have the endless mobility now on this wacky. That sure is nice. See, chat, I can be anecdotal too. Have you ever considered playing Night March? Yeah, back in the day. I actually played it at Worlds one year. I played Night March. I think I like only played Night March at Worlds. That was the only time I played Night March. Isn't 2 Gladion a bit too much? No. 2 Gladion is like probably just like perfect. You want to be able to do it twice. And you don't want to prize it because it's a very important card to utilize when you're using it. When like the turn comes up to use it. Super powerful card, super important to have when you need it, and can easily come up twice throughout a game. Kieran before a switch card? I don't know about that. I'd probably play a switch before a Dude, what are they setting up for with this? Are they gonna do it again? I'd probably play a switch before a second Kieran, but I don't know. Playing a switch is reasonable. It's not an unreasonable inclusion. Depending on the metagame, depending on the format. It could be a good inclusion. I'm down. I'm here for it. Doesn't feel necessary right now. I'm not convinced we need it. Oh, okay. Why does that happen when they do that? I mean, I just draw pass, right? Favorite deck at the moment? Whatever deck I'm currently playing. Early wall Rhyperior with Bastion protects from boss and discards energy with his attack. I mean, it's probably just bad, but it'd be a fun bad deck, I guess. I have no idea what the Rhyperior fully does, so. So I just put together a somewhat playable Mega Zeraora deck, basically being a bad play this format, or not being a great. If there's no great way to play it this format. What's the thought process when deciding between Baby Petch and Yveltal? How quickly you can set up Baby Petron, basically, or how much you want to slow the game down. If you really want to slow the game down, Yveltal is better because Baby Petch KOs him faster. But if you're just trying to gain a prize advantage, then the other one's better. Also, even if you'd rather play Petron, if you can't conveniently set it up, you kind of can't play it. You don't really have a choice. You just can't play the card. I have no idea what they're playing, right?
Uh,
I mean, this isn't gonna die. This guarantees the Adiplin though, before I get item locked. That seems like more important actually. Fruitio and Yveltal is also a plus. I mean, not really. Like, that wouldn't be like a make or break reason to play the card. So it's like not a reason worth thinking about. King, huh? Did Grimothy work with Gwen? Felt better than it. Yeah, it definitely feels like an upgrade. Like a solid upgrade where it's like, okay, there might be something here. Yeah, there might be something there. Felt like a really big upgrade. All right, let's see if they have a tech for Shaman. Should I just tool scrapper the bangle just cuz? Like, do I care about a lucky helmet previous just to get rid of this dead card? Probably don't care, right? Fuck you, Meowth. No crown for you. Shaman's in there. Alright, we're chilling. I don't see a reason to not get aggressive, right? I guess like the question I have, to be honest, is like, I put the festival grounds in play. Probably not, right? Probably just wonk the smoochum. Seems fine. Bangles are bracelets, not crowns. Yeah, but Meowth's small, right? So it would have fit as a crown on Meowth's head. I don't really want a night stretcher for a Diplin here. No, it shouldn't matter. I should build a night stretcher for Diplin. Would you like to punch into their Kang? Yeah, but then I need to find a stadium next turn to KO their slow King. I don't know. It's like one more piece I need. If they leave the Kang in the active, I can Gladion one-hit it. If they don't leave it in the active, that would require them to leave it in the active later in the game. I can just one-hit it at that point, right? It's not that big of a deal. Hope they're playing this slow bro, the Mega Slow Bro tech. That would be really bad. Don't I just lose to Mega Slow Bro? Well, no, at this point I could just win off the bench, to be honest. It wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Did I ever play Skylanders? No, it's the first time hearing of it. Oh, you rat! You rat! I see you. All right, all right. I see what you're trying to cook over there. Nice try, buddy. Nice try. I might just go aggro for some prize cards here. Like, fuck the king. Give me some KOs. I guess there was like merit in having punched the... I think it was correct to hold the stadium there. Maybe if I had like more stadiums in my hand, like if I had 2 stadiums in my hand, then going aggressive stadium to punch the king ahead of time, because then it could line up for a Gladion play, right? So there definitely is like there's not zero merit to it, to like doing the extra punch, but like I don't know, I just kind of felt like my hand. I feel like the option of just guaranteeing Festival Grounds next turn just felt like too powerful. For anyone who was ever wondering why I said, or why I ever said this is not a tech to beat Shaman, you're currently witnessing why this is not a tech to beat Shaman. For anyone who's ever curious why I said that, you don't tech for Shaman. If you're gonna tech for Shaman, you have to do some convoluted Ian Robb type bullshit with your list. Now hold on though, that that's a tech right there. Dude, fuck this guy. They're getting with the frigid fangs. How many times can they do that though? Like theoretically, how many times are they gonna be able to attack with Walrein? Walrein is diabolical. That's the thing though. That's the thing right there. That's a tech, but I don't know if that's good enough. They need some kind of like spread to follow that up, right? I mean, if they're playing Cofagrigus, I would have been cooked long ago. Doesn't seem like they're playing Cofagrigus. Ooh, I prized the stadium, didn't I? Oh, I have a stadium in my fucking hand. Oh, the first one search out the stadium. I need to search out an energy. Yeah, now that's a tech. Now I don't know if it's good enough to beat us. But, like, technically... I mean, I don't know how many times they're going to be able to use that in a row. A couple, right? Solo Coffin might be good for the Festival Lead matchup. Yeah, I could see it. I could see getting the Coffin involved. See, that's like a real tech, though. Like, the pony or whatever is not a real tech to beat Shaman. It's a fake tech. I was never losing to that thing. Surely the new ape is better than Spectre now? I mean, they just kind of don't do the same thing. I don't know. Yo, now they're dangling tail out here? Bro. This is some bullshit. They're cooking over there. They're working so hard. My opponent is working so hard here. This is literally like the, this is the what's it called meme. The invincible meme. A fraction of our power meme. Look what they need. Look what they need. Just to lose. Just to lose anyways. I don't know. Give me a stadium, I guess. Do they play Monkey Dory? Do they fit all this bullshit in here and Monkey Dory? There's no reason for me to think that they wouldn't play Monkey Dory besides the fact that most people don't play Monkey Dory. I'm just gonna punch him again. Most people just don't play the Monkey Dory, but like I haven't seen anything in their list where I'm like, oh, well, they're playing this, so they definitely don't play Monkey Dory. What do you think is the most consistent way to beat Shaman with King? I don't know. I've never tried. No clue what it is. I've never tried because I think trying is pointless. My current take is that trying is pointless. You should just take the L to Shaman, but there might be a real line that exists that is like reasonable. Okay, I don't think it changes much, but they just super sideballed at me. I was like, wait, how am I dying? Well, I don't play maximum belt, so I don't think I had game last turn, unless I'm trolling. How much HP does the 120? So this with a this with a Gladion doesn't kill it.
Huh. Hmm.
Oh, but it only does 50 damage. Branch Poke doesn't even get the knockout, bro. What the fuck? Prevent all damage that's taken by attacks from your opponent's evolution Pokemon. Okay. It's gonna be tough. Definitely gonna be tough. We'll see. Is there a certain Grookey or Applin that would give us a better shot? Crust Manectric. All right, all right. Actually, is the first partner collection Grookey. What's its attack? Doesn't it cost like 3 energy though? 2 grass for 40. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, what is it? Is it legal or no? Is it on TCG Live? We should be playing one of those. You can't trade for it? Wait, do I need a code? I can go get a code right now. Might utilize this guy later, but I don't need him right now. I don't think I can. Well, they're gonna send up Crustle or Feebas here, right? Then I just don't attack. I want to be able to boss punch the electric ahead of time. Wait, what's the Grookey's retreat cost though? Is it 1 or 2? That's also a big deal. I usually play like 1. Why attach a Grookey? My main attacker. What do you mean? Why attach a Grookey? We're swinging. 1 retreat. That's broken. We need that. Isn't it also 80 HP? That would be bad. Is it 80 HP? And I can look it up on PKM and cards, right? Yeah, 70 HP. Branch Poke for 40. Dude, what the fuck? Why is that thing relevant? That's actually the optimal Grookey. That's insane. Or maybe like a 3-1 split. Smash kick for 10 maybe matters. Questionable choice for the energy there. Not sure what's happening right now. Yeah, I'm bossing that electric for sure. No question. It's getting bossed. When you spend $40 to play Festival Lead. Festival Lead becomes the most expensive Pokemon TCG deck in the format. Appreciate the gifted sub there. Anonymous over to Goldine. Appreciate 70 months there, Nick. Appreciate the tier 1 over on YouTube. Pitch. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Rat Pack. Want to KO the Crustle? Because they can push up the electric, evolve it to Manectric, play Crispin, attack with it. What if I don't KO the Crustle? They don't get the push for free. They would need like an air balloon or something. So now I can once again boss KO the electric. Repeat. That's why I didn't KO the Feebas as well on the second turn. I don't want to give them the free mobility into the Manectric to attack first. Because now if they go evolve to Manectric attach, I get to boss the Manectric and KO it. No freebies. No freebies. I don't know how much I want to boss KO this electric now though, because they would need they put so much. They could just have Manectric Crispin though again. I could just boss this electric. It's just a bad play, just KO. I can't even explain. I'm not even going to try and begin to explain. You know what? That comment makes sense. You know what? That comment just makes sense. That comment tracks. Is the metric not? No, it's not the mega. No, it's the new baby Manetric. We are at a boss at this point now. They probably have the mega, to be fair. They probably do play the mega, yeah, but we're not playing around the mega. They do probably play it, though. Add the new Charcadets to the Saraledge deck? No, I'm pretty sure the new Charcadets actually are just bad. I don't remember what they do. Electric's back. Would the small fish be bad in this exact case? It wouldn't be great, no. Yeah, it wouldn't be anything special. All right, well, I don't know why they conceded. They still had a line there, I think.